The U.S. Marine Corps plans to embark on a 10-year transformation plan that could see the service ditch its entire tank force. Viewers may note that Marines are using tank units for a long time, and this will be a radical shift. The plan is in line with the view that U.S. Marines will have to fight in small groups and in a distributed manner in any major conflict going forward. The U.S. Marine Corps' call for bold decision to be taken, and getting rid of tanks is one of them. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why U.S. Marine Corps is planning to ditch tanks in the coming days. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by the free-to-play military vehicle combat game War Thunder. We talk a lot about military vehicles on this channel, but what about trying them out for yourself? In War Thunder, you can choose from more than 1,200 playable vehicles from the 1930s to the 1990s and go to battle on more than 80 theaters of war. You can fly aircraft, helicopters, drive tanks, and command ships of all types and sizes, which have been carefully recreated from their real-world counterparts. It's available as a free download on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. So grab your friends and give it a try. All viewers of Defense Updates that register using the link in the description below will also get a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship and 3 days of premium account time as a bonus. The Marine Corps has stated it is not optimized to meet the demands of the National Defense Strategy. The service has identified China as the pacing threat to the U.S. and its allies in the coming years. Most analysts believe that in the event of conflict between the two countries, the South China Sea will be a major theater of war. China claims over 90% of the South China Sea through its so-called 9-dash line map. It says that it has indisputable sovereignty over the area. Countries like Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan have disputed these claims, and the wide-reaching demarcation was rejected by an arbitral tribunal at The Hague in July 2016. The route's significant, as about $5 trillion in trade through shipping passes each year. The sea also has alleged 11 billion barrels of untapped oil and 190 million cubic feet of natural gas. China has tried imposing a unilateral decision as per which all ships and aircraft navigating in the area need to identify themselves to the Chinese military. The U.S. has been sending warships to the region as part of freedom of navigation operations. In case the dispute escalates to a war, one of the jobs of the Marine Corps will be to capture the islands in the South China Sea, which have been militarized. The islands are relatively small. For example, Fiery Cross Reef is only about 680 acres. The thought process inside the Marine Corps is that large M1 Abrams main battle tanks will be misfit in these kind of scenarios, especially since China is unlikely to station its own tanks in these islands. The M1 Abrams entered service in 1980 and currently serves as the main battle tank of the United States Army and Marine Corps. The tank has seen many upgrades since the initial variant, M1A1, and is considered to be one of the best main battle tanks in the world. Abrams are large, 12-foot (3.66 meters) in length, 8-foot (2.44 meters) in height, and weigh in at more than 60 tons. The Abrams can be carried on a C-5 Galaxy or a C-17 Globemaster III, but in limited numbers. C-5 can accommodate 2 combat-ready tanks, and C-17 can accommodate only 1. The U.S. Marines transport their Marine Air-Ground Task Force (MAGTF) attached Abrams tank by combat ship. A Wasp-class landing helicopter dock (LHD) typically carries a platoon of 4 to 5 tanks attached to the deployed Marine Expeditionary Unit, which are then amphibiously transported to shore by Landing Craft Air Cushion (LCAC) at 1 combat-ready tank per landing craft. The limited tactical mobility can cause serious logistical problems when deploying the tanks in a fast-paced battle scenario. Though China has maintained that it does not intend to pursue militarization, satellite imagery says different. China has excavated deep channels, created and dredged harbors, and constructed communications logistics and intelligence gathering facilities in the several islands. Large hardened airfields and hangars suitable for military operations have been constructed. Not only this, China has even deployed advanced missile systems in the islands. YJ-12 is a sophisticated anti-ship missile that has a max speed of Mach 3.2. It has a maximum range of 235 miles or 380 kilometers, depending on launch altitude, so it can be fired from far off. The speed, range, and ability to skim close to the sea surface make it one of the most deadly anti-ship missiles in the world. A saturation attack by YJ-12s will be hard to defend against, even by elaborate defenses of the U.S. military. The HQ-9 is China's new generation, medium to long-range, active radar homing surface-to-air missile. HQ-9 is dedicated fire control radar and has a range of 185 miles, or 300 kilometers. The missile is equipped with a 395-pound or 180-kilogram warhead, has a maximum speed of Mach 4.2, and has a maximum range of 125 miles, or 200 kilometers. The system could target aircraft, drones, and cruise missiles. In this situation, long-range strike capability is a priority when compared to having tanks. The Wall Street Journal was the first to report on the Marines' plans for the radical shift on March 23, 2020. The newspaper interviewed Marine Corps Commandant General David Berger about his proposal, which would fundamentally change the face of his service for years to come. Berger told the Journal, "China, in terms of military capability, is the pacing threat. If we did nothing, we would be passed." He added, "I have come to the conclusion that we need to contract the size of the Marine Corps to get quality." Berger told the newspaper, "We need an army with lots of tanks. We don't need a Marine Corps with tanks." Berger told the House Armed Services Committee on February 27th, "I think every service chief would love to have a better force, but you need us to be lethal. You need us to be mobile. You need us to be integrated with the Navy. So we're going to reduce the size of the Marine Corps some this year, more next year." The U.S. Marines are buying new naval strike missiles and maritime strike Tomahawk, a variant of the Tomahawk land attack cruise missile. These missiles will allow the Marines to strike the Chinese assets in and around the islands from long distances, and also enable them to defend the islands once captured. Naval Strike Missile, or NSM, is the upgrade of Kongsberg's Penguin short to medium range anti-ship guided missile. The missile has a range of 100 miles or 185 kilometers. NSM is a fifth-generation missile capable of high subsonic speeds. It has sea skim mode, by which it travels very close to the surface, making it hard to detect and intercept. It's equipped with 276 pounds or 125 kilograms multi-purpose blast fragmentation warhead. NSM features an imaging IR seeker, which is complemented by inertial GPS navigation. The missile also has a built-in database of representative ship types to distinguish between intended targets and other objects. Importantly, it can be used as an anti-ship missile as well as for taking out land targets. Maritime Strike Tomahawk allows the missile to engage a moving target at sea and has an unclassified range, though it's thought to be about 900 nautical miles. Change is the only constant, and this is especially true when it comes to modern warfare, which is evolving at a rapid pace. China poses a genuine challenge, and the U.S. military needs to be up to it. The plan by U.S. Marine Corps, if implemented, will see it optimize itself to face the changing dynamics. Large armored vehicles like main battle tanks don't seem to fit in the grand scheme of things, and this is where reconstruction is necessary. It'll be interesting to see how things pan out in the coming days.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.